Hi, I'm Alan. Welcome to another episode of 72 Hours. We're going to talk about lighter. Every kit should have a lighter, and I have something called a survival lighter. Let me get it out of my pocket. You're looking at this and wondering what the hell is this monster of a lighter? And yes, it does work. Got a little bit of a flame. Now, what's on here are two fire starters, duct tape and a ranger band. A ranger band is basically a piece of inner tube that you can put over a cylinder to hold stuff. I usually put it over when I wrap a knife handle. I'll put an inner tube over it to hold the rope down, or you can stuff other items under. But what's great about the duct tape and the ranger band is they make great fire starters. Also, you got duct tape that's always good for every type of repair. Now we're going to demonstrate these as fire starters. All right, the first thing we're going to show is the rubber inner tube band. We're going to cut a little piece up. Should always have a good multi-tool. All right, we can cut it up. And you just want to kind of have little pieces. I like to do. Kind of have a little bit more of a flare. And see, it'll burn for quite a bit. And we have a basically pretty much like you showed in the video with a cotton ball that will burn for a little while. This will also burn for a little while. Probably about a minute or so, maybe two, roughly. Because you can see it's starting to go up really quick. But if you build this with a fire bundle, you have an awesome fire starter that can get wet. And you have a fire starter that can get wet and never, like, you know, you're not going to get the goo of, like, the cotton ball or anything. And I still probably got another 2 to 3 more fire starters I can make out of this. Alright, we just showed the inner tube, how it makes a good fire starter. Yes, it is a rubber inner tube. Yes, it's going to give off a little bit of toxic flame. But once you have your fire going for about 5 minutes or more, you're not going to have to worry about anything left. If you look right here, that's the remnants of the inner tube. It burnt up in about a minute or so. Now we're going to talk about option 2, duct tape. Duct tape can be used for all kinds of stuff, repairs, wounds. You can also use it as a great fire starter. What you do is you take some off your lighter. I probably have about 3 to 4 feet of duct tape, I think, around here. Around this lighter, roughly. You don't need that much. Pull it out. And what I like to do, if you got multi-tool, it works better, but you can use a knife. So you fold it in half, and you start doing little... curl up in a little ball. Take your lighter. That'll also burn. This will burn a little less, probably a little bit under a minute. But it's another fire starter that also has a purpose of, it's duct tape. You can fix anything with duct tape. And yes, you're going to have a little bit of toxic fumes, as you see right there. But in a survival situation, it's more important to get a fire going than worrying about a little bit of black smoke. Alright, we just did the demonstration on our survival lighter. One other thing I want to mention, even if your fuel is gone into your lighter, you still have the flint in there without the flame. You can still use this as a combustion device. Like in my previous video with char cloth, you could make a spark for your char cloth. Even if your fuel is out of this lighter, still keep the lighter. Alright, thank you for coming to 72 Hours. We hope to hear from you soon. If you have any comments or ideas, please show them our way.